Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, so this is the day that I've been saying I've been waiting for since training camp started, since before it started, since we knew that this was going to be happening for the second year in a row. We had our joint practices, which I actually forgot about. I actually forgot that we were going to have these joint practices. Like I knew 2 days ago, like Monday is the joint practice, but I started working and I got busy and I looked at my phone and I'm like, I'm seeing Giants players. I'm seeing Malik Nabers go down the sideline and just embarrassing these Lions cornerbacks. And I'm like, okay, we are practicing against them again. So I remember that. And first off, let's put out a disclaimer. For the people on Twitter and the folks that like to just go and type away and say that creators who weren't at the practice can't talk about what transpired during the practice, I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. A lot of people like to just sit on their high horses to say like, I'm not a content creator, so I'm gonna just make fun of everything they do. And if they weren't out there playing on the field, if they weren't in the coaching room, if they didn't see it with their own eyes, they can't talk about it. Like they think they know. Anyway, that's a tangent. But anybody who sees the clips from practice, anybody who reads and digests everything that everyone else is seeing in practice, I believe can talk about what, first of all, you can talk about whatever you want to, but they can definitely talk about what went on and the practices because they have video proof. That's like saying that someone can't talk about a game because they weren't in the stadium, because they didn't see what this person said on the sideline. So that little rant is over. But I was Twitter watching. I saw some of those clips. And wow, man, I was really happy because last year we came out against the Lions and they really punched us in the mouth. I mean, they really bit our kneecaps off. Like they just kind of just, if a lion just pounced on you and attacked you and just in one foul swoop just bit both of your kneecaps off, that's what they did last year for us. That's what they did to us. And we clearly were outmatched as far as physicality, as far as talent, as far as energy we brought. And today the Giants came out firing. Now, we all know that this is a different year. We got different folks out there. And they were trying to sell the whole thing of like, you know, this is a new year. This is we're not worried about last year. But I kind of feel like they were worried about last year. I kind of feel like the couple folks who were here last year, a couple of guys who were here last year, they said, listen, we're not going to let that happen again. And they came out firing. Like I said, the physicality from both teams. Training camp practice, I mean, you want physicality, and this is what we got. This was a physical practice. From what I saw, like I said, I didn't see every snap. I wasn't out there on the field. I wasn't hearing the calls. But from what I saw, the physicality was up there. The physicality was great. Both teams. Now, I will say they didn't keep it clean. You know, we had a Lions defender that tried to swat the ball out of DJ's hand, and Dable lost it. And then the next play, DJ was still kind of annoyed from that. And he hands the ball off, I think, and then something happens. And the camera pans over, and guess what? Daniel Jones is mixing it up. He wasn't throwing punches, guys, but he was throwing guys on the ground. Daniel Jones is like 6'5", 240. So he's not some like small, helpless quarterback. And it was just cool to see him mixing it up right there. But again, like I said, the physicality was there. I'm sure that Lions defender didn't mean to hit the quarterback. He probably like grazed his finger or something. But you can't touch the quarterback in any way. You can't swat the ball. You can't do any of that stuff. But moving on, I just want to stick to Daniel Jones. And a lot of people love to say, it's just like the weirdest thing. People love to say that there's just like this hateration on Daniel Jones. That people just hate Daniel Jones. He can't do anything right. And then when these same people that you all say hate Daniel Jones and never give him credit when he does things right, he had a great day of practice today. The dude balled out today. It was practice, yes, but he balled out today. And I'm going to get into how he balled out, but he had a great day as far as training camp practice. And this is like the best. this may matter even more than the preseason for what we saw. So he balled out today. But why, when you people label people as DJ haters, when they give Daniel Jones credit and say he had a good day, oh, all of a sudden now you're a flip-flopper. You're a flip-flopper. Or they just ignore it and say they're inside and they're not tweeting because they're upset that he had a bad day. Listen, I want the Giants offense to be good. And for the most part, I believe that Daniel Jones at times has held this offense back from being good. But if he plays like how he played today in the regular season, you're going to see me rooting for him. I hate to say it. You're going to see me rooting for him every week because he's on the Giants. But you're going to see me giving him his props. And when he doesn't play well, I'm going to acknowledge that as well. But Daniel Jones today, I mean, we were talking about it. It seemed like almost every pass this first couple of weeks of camp have been off mark. Like as far as like behind the receiver on these deep routes, overthrowing the receiver, underthrowing the receiver. It was like an anticipation error, like an anticipation problem. And today, hit Hyatt in stride. Put it right in the breadbasket in front of Hyatt. He didn't have to slow down to catch it. Malik Nabers got him down the sideline. Threw it up for Malik Nabers to go up and get that on that. I call them C routes, C corner routes. I call them C routes. You can call them post corners, but Nabers on a corner route, I mean, gets down the field and DJ just throws it up, trusts him. And he came down with it, got both feet down, even though they tried to say he didn't. Had a pass downfield to Darius Slayton, so they were firing it. And it seems like Dable is aggressive. There were some passes that weren't being completed at the beginning of practice as far as some of these deep shots we were taking. And Dable was just on the sideline yelling, like, you know, we got to complete these passes. Don't stop taking the shots. And the shots started happening. They started being completed. We started making some big plays. Malik Nabers caught a slant and took it. I mean, I think in real life he would have took it to the house. So shout out to Talking Giants because, listen, here, we're going to give people credit. I wasn't at the practice, but I'll give credit to the folks that gave me this information. Shout out to Bobby over at Talking Giants. He said that Malik Nabers was targeted 8 times today, and he caught all 8 passes. So, I mean, you can't get better than that. You can't get better than that. Malik Nabers did his thing, as I've always expected. I was going to call him man a demon, but I can't call people demons. Malik Nabers did his thing. I mean, I'm just so proud of him as an LSU fan to be here, and then to be the player that I think he's going to be. I'm really excited for, and it looks like it's energizing Daniel Jones. It really looks like this is something that's going to take Daniel Jones and really get this guy fired up. But yeah, I mean, there were a couple of fights besides the Daniel Jones fight, and it was just happening all day. But that just comes with the territory as far as physicality goes. But you just kind of love to see that your team is going to come out there and not just get punked like they did last year on that first day. Let's see what else I had. AT, Andrew Thomas, even though the guy blocked me on Twitter, I still don't know to this day why. But, I mean, I guess it's an honor to be blocked by an all-pro offensive tackle. But, I mean, as always, he's that guy. Wasn't getting beat, never gets beat. And on a toss, Andrew Thomas is coming around the corner, and poor Terrion Arnold, he got blown up by Andrew Thomas. I mean, it was heard from New Jersey all the way to Detroit. That's how hard that hit was from Andrew Thomas. And, I mean, listen. Applause to the young man, the rookie cornerback. He stayed on his feet. I mean, he didn't even hit the turf. He lost his balance, definitely, but he didn't hit the turf. So props to him. I noticed Brian Burns in a bunch of clips. Brian Burns is a monster, man. The dude was all over the backfield. Had a couple run stops. Had a couple sacks. Did great in the one-on-ones against those 2 great tackles in Detroit. So Brian Burns, I'm excited to see him get out there. I didn't get to see as much of Aziz and Kayvon Thibodeau, but I heard good things. But Brian Burns definitely stood out. And then looking at these other receivers, Malik Nabers, like I said, it seems like Daniel Jones really trusts him. Daniel Jones literally said that Malik feels like he can, the ball is his when it's in the air. And it showed that Daniel Jones really is starting to trust the guy. It showed it because he threw it right up to him. in that one-on-one situation, and he came down with it. And I think that's only going to build more trust going into the season. So hopefully we're going to see Malik Nabers get every opportunity to be a Pro Bowl wide receiver in his rookie year. I know there's a million Pro Bowl wide receivers, but let's see Malik Nabers go for 12, 1,300, 1,400 yards. He can do it. Daniel Jones got to get him the ball, which it seems like he's willing to get him the ball, which is only going to make things better for the entirety of the offense. Other wide receivers. Like I said, I saw Darius Slayton. I saw Hyatt down the field. And looking at Hyatt continuing to beat these guys down the field, with Malik Nabers doing his thing, Hyatt is going to be even more open than he was last year. And he was open a lot last year. I think he probably left about 400 yards on the field of just quarterbacks not seeing him, quarterbacks missing him. I think we left a lot on the field as far as Jalen Hyatt was last year. And I think it's going to start to come to fruition this year as far as him being wide open downfield and us taking those deep shots like we absolutely have to in order for us to be that productive, explosive offense. Also heard that the offensive line did a great job, for the most part, keeping them clean. I saw a couple of clips of Jermaine Illuminor blocking Aiden Hutchinson and just stonewalling him, like picking him up as he's trying to turn the corner and just stopping him from getting to Daniel Jones. If he's going to play right tackle like that, Evan Neal, listen, it's curtains for you, man. It's curtains for you, because we cannot put you out there just because of where you were drafted. When our quarterback is finally feeling comfortable in that pocket again, we cannot do it. So, Illuminor, keep doing what you're doing. Other than that, folks, I'm excited for day 2 of training camp with the Detroit Lions. Absolutely great team to practice against. NFC Championship last year. Physical team, explosive offense, great tackles, great defensive end. So, I mean, you can only get good work from them. Of course, Dexter Lawrence blew up everybody he played against, but that's what Dex does. Other than that, you guys let me know what you're the most excited about from this practice or what you're looking for tomorrow. I will be back after tomorrow's practice to recap that. I'm sure we'll have a lot more exciting things going on. Shout out to any Lions fans that may have stumbled on this video. Listen, I'm really excited we get to practice against a team like the Lions. It seems like they have a similar philosophy to us as far as how they want to play, how they want to practice. Both of our coaches really enjoyed the fights, even though they tried to say, I don't really want to see anybody. They enjoyed the fights, and you love to see it. So, guys, again, leave what you're thinking from today's practice and what you're hoping for tomorrow's practice down in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and get out. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.